Today, I go through every champion in the UFC and answer the question, would they be able to beat the champion above them? I feel like we're in a real interesting time at the moment where you'd be silly to counter any of the lower boys going up there for double champ status, even though that seems to be a thing of the past. So I thought a little fun video today would be, thinking about how would they actually match up against the champ. Is there any actually that would beat the champion above them? I think there might be a little couple. Stay tuned. Yeah, that's right. Spoilers. I reckon there is maybe one or two. You'll have to wait. And let me know how you guys would think they'd go. We'll start off with the flyweight champion. And this one, you'd say, is the most intriguing out of them all. Sorry, not the most intriguing, but the one that's in the talks for the most. The one that people have been pushing. Pantoja versus the bantamweight champion, Merab Dvalishvili. How would that one go? It is a cool fight and a real, genuine super fight that actually would make a little bit of sense just because of how much Pantoja's cleared out his division right now. But would he be able to go up there to bantamweight and stop the oncoming force that is Merab? I reckon shit no. I think this is one of the more confident picks, really, out of them all. Merab's just such a brick shit house, so solid up there, and Pantoja running in so wildly. It's not like he's the young gun either as well. He's actually a little bit older than Merab. Definitely been in way more wars, way more damage, way shitter cardio. Like, for the champ cardios, honestly, I feel like Pantoja's down the lower end of cardio when it comes to the champs, and Merab's obviously the king of that stuff. I don't see how Pantoja implements any grappling. He's wild, coming in, striking. I don't see it working. I think a dominant decision for Merab would be just right, 50-45. Really, and maybe he really starts beating the shit out of Pantoja as it goes on, round 4 and 5, eventually finishes him. I really don't know what Pantoja would do in the, maybe clutches a back take at one point, but Merab's so solid, he'd be a tank in there compared to Pantoja. I reckon Merab gets that one done against the little man. But what happens if Merab's the little man? How would he do against the one above him, which is none other than the featherweight champion, Alexander Volkanovski? Now, this one I actually think is super intriguing. I really like Merab versus Volk, and definitely and it's crazy that Volk's still on the list. These all seem like a bit nuanced champs, but Volk is just still doing the thing. And definitely back in, a few years ago, I would have said he absolutely kills Merab. I would have said he goes up there and destroys a Charles, kills a Dustin Poirier and a Gaethje. These days, it's a little bit scarier with Volk. Maybe he'll get dropped by something he shouldn't early doors. But when it comes to Merab Dvalishvili, who doesn't have a lot of power, great pace and cardio and single legs and takedowns, Volk really should be able to deal with someone like that, I think. Merab versus Volk, I actually reckon it's super close though. I wouldn't count out Merab, and if by the end of the fight Merab has won a decision 48-47 and Volk just can't quite deal with what Merab does, then I wouldn't be too shocked. But going off what we've seen, he's stuffing Islam's takedowns and taking him to a real hard-fought decision, beating up on him in round 5, it'd be real hard to say that Merab would go up and do it. But maybe Merab is just such a force of nature, just such a freak, that he would just single leg dunk Volk. Volk gets back up, doing good on the feet. Single leg again, makes Volk work. But yeah, you would say that Volk matches up really well against Merab. But if there was anyone else, if Merab versus Max Holloway, I wonder. I don't know. But seriously, I think this is one of the closest. If you were to say, no, I reckon Merab's got the tools to actually beat Volk, I wouldn't hate you. I just would never speak to you again. But when it comes to Volkanovski, how would he do against the guy above him? And just in classic Volk fashion, he gets the short end of the stick and has to fight a guy he's already fought, which is just classic Volk. I'm surprised he's not fighting himself up here. But yeah, I reckon Ilia sleeps him. At 155 this time. What really changes? Not a lot. Now, and a lot of people say Volk was doing really good in the first fight. I actually reckon Max was doing a little bit better than what Volk was. And I also think that's kind of how it goes as well. You might be doing a little bit decent against Ilia early doors. He's looking for a real shot to end your lights. So I don't think out jabbing him for a round is really and he was schooling him before he got caught. If only that his chin held up. I don't think it's that. I think any eventually this guy's going to land on your chin hard. And Ilia vs Volk, one of the boringer matchups on the list, unfortunately. But, you know, screw Ilia for moving up. But then classic Volk getting the belt back, you know. What do we do? But yeah, I reckon Volk doesn't beat Ilia. What do you guys see? But one of the cool... this might be the biggest banger on the whole list. And the most closest fight. I can really hear your arguments. Now, I'm a big JDM fan myself. I live in Perth. So does he. We caught up for coffee before. It was nothing crazy, but it was special. And Ilia versus Jack Della. Now, seriously, if you were to say Ilia just beats him in the pocket way faster, heavy hands, not heavier hands, but heavy hands, faster in the pocket, I get it. Beats Jack to the punch. But I reckon Jack, way bigger at range, jabbing, and someone like when it comes to Max in the pocket, Volk in the pocket, and Charles, like who's more calm and collected and seeing stuff coming at him? It's Jack Della. Like this guy in the pocket is unmatched. His boxing is special, switching stance at will, goes to the body and the head. Like I think this guy's a beast, and he's Italian and ginger, so he's got the Marvin Vettori chin with the raw gingerness, explosiveness. Like seriously, he's got a great fighter build, fighter prototype. His Italian roots right in his jaw. I love that about Jack. So it'd be hard to say Ilia chins him, but you can never count out Ilia, honestly, against these big welterweights. I reckon he's got a good chance in all of them. Like Ilia sleeps Bilal, I get it. Ilia probably beats Sean Brady. No, I don't know. But if you were to say Sean Brady definitely beats Ilia, I would kill you. That would be silly. But Jack Della versus Ilia, I reckon Jack wins. Just a little bit more polished, more shot finding. I feel like Ilia goes a bit crazy for the KO these days sometimes. In the Charles one, I swear he was over swinging early doors. But if you were to have the take that Ilia beats Jack, I'll put my hand up and I won't say anything. But yeah, I like it. I like that fight, Ilia Jack, and I actually reckon it will happen one day as well. Ilia cleans out a couple people. Jack might clean out a couple. This will be a great fight. A boxing, just special. A special boxing show. But Jack Della Maddalena, how would he fare against the champion above him? He obviously schools Ilia. But how would he... Now, I really like this one as well. The JDM versus DDP. Which three-letter name reigns supreme? Am I crazy in saying Jack absolutely kills him? Am I crazy for that or what? Am I crazy? No, seriously, I reckon Jack absolutely mops the floor with DDP, and I don't think that's too hard of a question. But no, seriously, he does have a really good chance. DDP charging in, Jack, the elite specialist on the feet with his boxing that we know. If you would just say DDP just runs through him, I reckon you're absolutely insane. Jack's so hard to finish, great grappling and scrambles. But DDP, getting mixed up with the three-letter boys, DDP is such a massive guy. Like, there's Bilal, and then there's DDP, some huge unit of a man who's coming in the cage 215. Bilal's coming in the cage 185, 190 maybe. So, I reckon the grappling would definitely be a big factor, and DDP's got endless cardio. You know what? Now that I'm thinking about it a little bit more, I actually reckon DDP might win. Mixing in takedowns in moments, not getting chinned on the feet because he's got a granite chin, but he does leave a lot of openings. And with a guy like Jack, I don't think DDP's fought anyone that could take advantage of him on the feet as JDM would. I reckon that's definitely a fair take. With his counter ability in boxing, Obi just loves to have a drink during my videos. Can you please stop, Obi? Obi, please stop. I'm nearly done, man. What's your problem? But yeah, DDP beats Jack, maybe loses to him. Oh, God, are we just gonna have every champion beat the champ below? That's a bit boring. I'll have to do a video in the future. How would the champions do against the champion below them? Maybe I'd get a different result that way. Just kidding, it'd be the same. I hope you caught that one. No, that's silly. All right, but DDP versus Magomed Ankalaev. Now, did we get to a conclusion with DDP JDM? How does that one go? I can't really remember. JDM wins, right? Yeah. No, but seriously, I reckon he has a good chance. But DDP versus Magomed Ankalaev, I swear all these matchups are good. Even though I don't think I can definitively say that the one below would win, JDM DDP is awesome. Dricus du Plessis versus Magomed Ankalaev Is that not sick? I don't think you can say Magomed embarrasses him, but he probably definitely wins. But I don't know. I swear these are close. Like my point is, you wouldn't count them out. You cannot say DDP just gets squashed by him. But the pick is most likely in every single case the champion above. But I reckon you're tripping if you're like, I wonder what the odds will be. Maybe I'll predict what the odds would be at the end. But Magomed versus DDP, maybe one of the boringer ones. I could see this going the distance. Magomed maybe staying on top, just being a better boxer, and this one being a bit stale. I don't know. DDP versus Magomed, a bit stale. I've lost the love for the video now. But last but not least, and this one I actually do think is cool, Magomed Ankalaev versus Tom Aspinall. I think Magomed gives him more trouble than most of the heavyweights at this point, just because he's got a great wrestling base. I don't think he's going to get instantly subbed. His boxing is clean and he stays within himself, doesn't leave ridiculous openings, but Tom Aspinall probably gets him out of there in 2-3 minutes, you would say. But I do think this could actually be an interesting fight. And I hope one day a light heavyweight moves up and challenges Tom Aspinall, and I have to imagine they would, because Tom Aspinall is going to be clearing the heavyweights out so fast that there's not going to be a chance. And Magomed, I'd say it'd be about late $3, $4 against Tom. DDP, $3 less. DDP would be less than what Magomed would be, like a lesser underdog. JDM DDP, I reckon, would be closer than both of the last two, a little bit closer. I reckon JDM DDP is good, like maybe early $3. Ilia JDM is actually, what do you think Ilia JDM's odds would be? Because I actually think that's a weird one where it could be like evens, or JDM's a slight dog, Ilia is a slight dog. We'd have to go off maybe future performances, but really going off right now, I reckon they'd maybe have Ilia as a fave. I reckon that's pretty cool. Volk, Ilia, well, he'd be a big dog there, $4. Merab, Volk, I reckon Merab would be a good dog there, a really good one. Now that I'm thinking about that, like late $2, and Pantoja, he'd be like $4, $3, yeah. But yeah, that's the video, and a bit of a different thumbnail that I don't usually do, so I'll try that one and see if I get super good views. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed that one. Would the champion move up and beat the champion? What was the title? How did I do with that? All right, and I think I'm done. But yeah, you're welcome. And I'll just head out. Actually, I'll go for 13 minutes because, 10 seconds left, and I hope you enjoyed the video. And if you somehow here at the end, at the 12-minute 57 mark, then you should definitely sub. But you probably already are subbed because you're a loyalist. Hello. All right, and off I go. Off I go now, guys. See ya.